What's up, everybody? It's your favorite scientist, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Transformers Legacy Perceptor. It's all known to me from Chris Pinkerton, If You're Nasty, of Crashbox Customs, Enter the Realm, and of course, Nerd Rage Radio fame, who was kind enough to lend me this and a few other pieces, and some of it ended up getting doubled up, but whatever. I think it'll still ultimately be worth taking a look at, and I do appreciate it. So, with no more further ado, let's go ahead and get started, and we know where we start, ladies and gents, with accessories. So he comes with a red rifle, a fair amount of hollow bits, but I think it works as sculpted detail. No paint on it, unfortunately. We have seen paint on some of the weapons as of late, but none on this one. He can hold that just fine. And he can store it on any 5mm port, regardless of how ridiculous it is. Many of those 5mm ports will also work in alt mode. The only issue is like it's got to be standing up on this side, and the back one does not really work because the head fills in the gap where the kind of magazine went. So other than that, most of them work. Now let's talk about the figure. So the microscope is kind of part of it, which I kind of dig. The head sculpt, I think, is okay. Something's a little goofy about the mouth. We'll get in tight for Dennis, so to speak. Proportionately, just between the nose and mouth, there's something a little goofy about it. The silver paint on the face looks good. The metallic blue on the eyes looks good. And then the gold or yellow, whatever that is, on the crest looks good as well. Head is on what feels like just a swivel. So you get left and right, no real up and down. Meh. We have silver paint here. It actually might even be like a pearlescent white, which is the same here, I think. Which does look good. And nice sculpted detail in the microscope as well. Does it have any kind of gimmick to it? No. Doesn't appear to anymore. I wonder if it extends. Nah. Why bother? All right, so the shoulders. Ball pegs, so they'll get you around 360, they'll get you up 90, nothing really on the butterfly because there's no wiggle room around the ball peg. Black paint on the shoulder, that looks nice enough. Bicep swivel, single hinged elbow, get you 90 degrees, huge open thing in there. There should have been a flap there to hide it. It's obviously for transformation, still should have been a flap there to hide it. Open the flap, put the hand in, close the flap back up. Come on, we're better than this, I think. Pearlescent white there. The wrist, do not swivel, but I guess you get the hinge in. Meh. All right, let's continue. This side, same deal. All right, waist swivel. And there is an ab crunch, I believe. Maybe not. I really thought there was one, but I guess not. All right, and then we have hips that are on universals with a pin through them. You get the full Monty. You get the full Van Damme. Now, we have this bit of business. Thigh swivel, sculpted detail looks good. But this is for transformation, this joint here. There should have been something to prevent it in robot mode, because this does get obnoxious. Let me back out a taste. I don't care for that at all. I mean, I get why it's there, but there should have been something that you could do to prevent that from happening, because it's not fun when messing with the figure. Single hinge knee with a deep bend, though. That's nice. And then we get nice sculpted detail on the legs. Tracks aren't painted. That's kind of a bummer. We get a toe tilt down and an ankle rocker. And the toes are painted or just black plastic. And there he is from the back. Proportions, I think, are better than what we've seen in some of the other stuff. Like, it doesn't look as much like a little kid. You know, it's a bit better in that regard. So that's nice as well. Size comparison wise, there he is with Bulkhead, obviously a bit bigger, and Dragstrip, who is a bit smaller. And this is supposed to be the new Deluxe, but you know, Deluxe doesn't have much to do with size anymore. It has to do with price point. That was their way to kind of weasel around a few things. We've already talked about that in a sit down Saturday. Anyway, you get the point. So let's get him transformed. Spin the head around. Loves to hear percussion. Tuck the head in. And these shoulders come down. You can flip the hands in. Don't worry about a flap here to open it up. You don't need that. You just flip the hand right in there. Same on this side. Just flip the hand right in there. No flap needed. For the microscope, you got to get it up and over. So it'll sit there. And then this piece will come up and capture the other side of it. And at that point, you can rotate the shoulders up and they'll come down. There's a tab here that will interlock into the forearm, I believe. And same on this side. All right. And then the chest comes down. The legs come up. They come out to the side. You use this joint. You flip down the toes. And I mean, I think that that's really all there is to it. Then you can adjust the thing. I think that's it. So I'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. And there it is. And I mean, I'm having a little hard time getting this arm to stay stuck in, but I think for what it is, I think it's pretty effective. In all honesty, you got the nice little thing there. You got the Autobot sign that comes through there. This is ratcheted, oddly enough. You know, I like that the top is painted here. You know, that works for me. You know, you can tighten this up a little bit, obviously. But, you know, it'd been nice if the tracks were painted too. I think it just would have looked better. It doesn't need to be kind of cartoon accurate or whatever because it's stylized anyway, right? It doesn't roll, but I think that's okay. I think that's no big deal. And then I guess you get it up even further. It would be nice if even that moved. But yeah, I think overall, I think it does a pretty good job. You know, no real issues. Let me show you what he looks like next to Tiger Tracks. Not too shabby, to be honest with you, but who doesn't look good next to Tiger Tracks? Well, final thoughts-wise, we'll start with the negatives, and they're not many, to be honest. I wish there was a flap on the forearm to cover up that hollow bit. I wish the tracks were painted. I think it would have made them stand out more. It also would have drawn a little bit more attention to them and broken up some of the color palette down there, because it is a lot of flat, plain plastic in the legs. I wish there was more articulation in the head. I swear I thought there was an ab crunch to this dude that I saw in pictures. So if I just haven't pushed it to its limits because I'm afraid of breaking it, I apologize. And my other big complaint is I wish there was something that you could do to latch this in to prevent it in robot mode from kind of getting wonky-donkey on you. That's kind of probably my biggest complaint. Positives-wise, the articulation really comes through. I mean, I think that's obvious from here. I know Pinkerton is very happy that he can do an Iron Man pose as well. And he's not wrong, but there is some kind of like wonky stuff that goes on in order to get it there, but he's not wrong. But I think the articulation really is the standout thing about it. Engineering, nothing really special or interesting, just sort of straightforward, but easy enough to kind of flip back and forth with no issue. And the sculpt work is pretty solid across the board. So if you're into the line and into the scale, I can recommend it. It's a good enough figure. It just, you know, a lot of this stuff, it's very rare that any of this stuff does much for me personally, and this would be no exception. But who knows? We got a few more of these to look at. Who knows which one might turn my little heart? There's always hope, but that's also what rebellions are built on. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.